Welcome and hello. This is a video tutorial on HEC DSS View, and in this lesson I'm going to be discussing importing and exporting text files, image files, and generic files like PDF files. What we have on the screen here is our user interface for DSS View. The first we'll start with text files. If you want to add a text file to your DSS View, go ahead and click. Let's start by creating a file, a DSS file. File version new. I'm using version 6, and then go ahead and give your DSS file a name. I'm going to say DSS underscore file create, and that's going to go into my directory that I had specified. What I'm using for files in this video are shown here. I just created the DSS file, which is this bottom file. And then I have a text file, an image file, and a PDF file. Back to DSS View, we'll go ahead and click Data Entry, Import, and then down at the bottom here are the three files I'm talking about, text, image, and then generic type. Let's select text and then navigate to our text file. I have it right here, datanotes.txt, open, and then here is that file. It comes up in a little text editor. So I can go ahead and make edits to that if I want. I'm not going to right now. I'm just going to say file, save as. And now what it's doing is it's giving me the full file path to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in my path name and then click tab. It populates the fields. This project is Poudre River. Location is Halligan. Author is Tim Nelson. And then click OK. And boom, we have that record saved. And if we want to edit that record, we could just go ahead and edit, tabular edit, and then start making edits. So I'll say revised edits here, and then whatever. Now I can file, save it. Don't need to save as because we already have it saved. Now if I want to export that text file to the same directory but with a different name, I could go data entry, export to files, and now I could just call it data notes revise.txt and then save. And that is now successfully exported. See, we have the data notes and then data notes revise.txt. So we'll go ahead and click that. And then here is the file in my Notepad++. So this is just a generic text editor. That's it for text file. Let's move on to image file. To do that, we'll click Data Entry, Import, come down to Images, and now we'll navigate to our image file. Just a second. All right, here is our image file, DSSVue icon.jpg. Okay. And when I import an image file, it automatically populates fields C, D, and E for the file name, the file type, and then the file extension. I can add my A, B, and F parts if I want. I'm not going to right now. I'm just going to click OK, and it's been added. So here is the record for the image file I just added to my DSS file. I'm going to go ahead and click the plot icon, and it shows me an image in a little image editor. I believe it's the same behavior if I click, yes, if I click the tabular edit button as well. If I want to export that image file, I can do so by going data entry, export to files, and let me just save it to my desktop. And it has been written to the desktop. Here's the icon. I can bring that up here, and it shows up nice and big. The last file I want to discuss are generic files, and PDF files are typically considered generic files for the purposes of DSS View. Go data entry, import. This bottom entry is file generic type. All right, I navigated to the directory, and here we have the PDF file, model results report.pdf, and then open. Again, just like image file, it auto-populates the file name, the file type, and the file extension. I'm going to go ahead and add some extra data to just better describe what the file is. So I'm going to say, give it a project, give it a location, and then type in author, and then click OK. And that record has been added right here as a PDF file. If I want to export that generic file, the PDF file, select the file, data entry, export, and then export to files. And we'll just put it on the desktop beside our image. And it has been created right up here. Within DSS View, we can view it by just selecting the file, or I should say the file path, and then clicking, I believe, either button. The plot button will work, and it brings up an Acrobat Adobe PDF viewer for me to look at the file. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's do one more thing. Let's delete those two files, the image file and the generic file. I'm going to click the delete button, or I can just right click and delete. That works fine. Now I'm going to drag those files in. An easier way to import those files is just drag the icon, and it automatically prompts me with the same information I would if I hit data entry import. So let's add that. I'm not going to add any extra data. Same with the generic file. It works the same way. One more thing worth mentioning is this DSS file .dss is 160 kilobytes. So I'm going to just confirm that by refreshing. Yes, 116 kilobytes right here. If I delete the file from DSS View, it won't change the file size. So let me delete the image and the PDF file. Delete, yes. And if I right click and refresh, it's still 116 kilobytes, which is incredibly small. So this isn't too important, but it could become important if there's a huge files we're working with. What I would recommend doing if you delete a lot of large files, or just any large files from your .dss file, is I'd come up to Tools and then Squeeze. This is like defragging your computer, but just for one specific file, because remember the DSS file sort of serves as a database. So the file has been squeezed. Okay, let's go back and check out the file size. And sure enough, it is now down to 26 kilobytes, this bottom entry here. And let me just refresh to confirm. Yes, it's 26 kilobytes. And what it's doing is it's just restructuring itself so that the quote deleted files are truly deleted, and it's reorganized so it's more compact, and it can retrieve the time series data and any other data faster for reading and writing purposes. So that was the video I wanted to make and to describe importing and exporting text files, image files, and generic files into HEC DSS View.